Divine timing is one of the most mysterious yet powerful forces in the universe, often misunderstood by those who live by sight and not by faith. For the chosen ones, every second carries meaning, and every delay hides divine orchestration. When God moves, he doesn't rush, and when he pauses, it's not hesitation, it's preparation. The 21-minute window symbolizes the sacred alignment between heaven's timing and your earthly awareness. It's not about the number itself but what it represents: urgency wrapped in divine patience, a short yet significant moment to respond to the call placed upon your spirit. For years, you may have felt as if you were waiting endlessly for a breakthrough, but now, heaven is saying the waiting is over. The countdown begins, and the question is whether your soul is alert enough to discern the divine opportunity that is knocking. The angels don't move by coincidence, they arrive at the exact moment heaven decrees, and this window of time is your test of spiritual readiness. Many people miss their divine appointments not because God didn't send a message, but because they were too distracted to notice. Divine timing doesn't shout, it whispers. It often appears in the stillness, in unexpected interruptions, or through a sudden inner knowing that something sacred is unfolding. When the clock starts ticking, the spiritual world observes how you move not out of fear, but in faith. The urgency of the 21 minutes is not meant to pressure you, but to awaken you. It's heaven's way of saying that delay is no longer an option. You have been trained, refined, and prepared through trials, isolation, and moments of deep transformation, and now your response will reveal what you have learned. Every chosen one is given moments like this, divine tests that separate those who simply know the word from those who live it. When the angels appear, their presence is not random. They come with a message directly tied to your obedience. This 21-minute call represents divine opportunity, a spiritual window that opens briefly and demands immediate recognition. Sometimes, it's a prompting to act, speak, forgive, move, or simply listen. Other times, it's the arrival of an answer you prayed for long ago, finally manifesting in an unexpected form. But no matter how it comes, it will require your sensitivity to divine timing. You can't respond late to spiritual assignments and expect the same result. Just as in the parable of the 10 virgins, some were prepared and some were not, the oil in your lamp represents your readiness to respond when heaven calls. The chosen ones are those who have kept their oil burning, even when it seemed unnecessary, even when others mocked their faith. The moment has now arrived for that faithfulness to be tested in real time. There's a sacred rhythm to God's timing, it doesn't conform to human clocks or calendars. The number 21 holds prophetic symbolism. It often represents completion after struggle, divine transition after endurance. It's as if God is saying, now that you've been purified through fire, I can trust you with the next move. Within these 21 minutes, a spiritual transaction is taking place, heaven's energy aligning with your obedience. The angels have come not to test your fear, but your faith. When the spiritual clock begins to count down, the wise don't panic, they prepare. The chosen ones know that heaven's timing rarely comes with comfort or convenience. It interrupts your normal patterns, demanding your full attention. It shakes you awake because your destiny cannot afford another delay. During these moments, distractions intensify. Doubt will whisper, confusion will rise, and old fears will try to resurface. That's how you know the timing is divine. The enemy always tries to interfere when something heaven-sent is about to unfold. But if your spirit stays aligned, you'll sense the peace that surpasses understanding, a quiet confirmation that this urgency is not man-made, but divinely ordained. The 21-minute window symbolizes the thin line between preparation and manifestation. It's the gap between promise and fulfillment, where your obedience bridges what God said and what He's about to do. For the chosen ones, this period feels intense, but it's sacred intensity. You are being asked to act from your higher awareness, to recognize that what's unfolding is not an accident but a heavenly orchestration moving in divine synchronization. The spiritual dimension operates on exact precision. When the angels are sent, they don't arrive early or late. Their movements follow divine order, timed perfectly with your readiness. The test is whether you can align your response with the divine schedule. Every act of obedience carries a time stamp, and this is yours. When you respond within that divine moment, you unlock blessings, revelation, and shifts that cannot be accessed through delay. God doesn't give you deadlines to create fear, He gives them to awaken your discernment. The chosen ones must learn that delayed obedience is disobedience in disguise. Heaven operates on divine precision, and when the clock starts, it is heaven's way of saying the door has opened, but not for long. Within these moments, every thought, word, and action carries spiritual weight. The 21 minutes are not about rushing, but about being spiritually present. It's about silencing the noise of doubt, turning inward, and tuning into the frequency of heaven. The chosen ones are those who can feel time shift, who can sense when a spiritual portal opens, even if they can't explain it. That's what divine timing truly is: sensitivity to heaven's rhythm. When God gives you this window, it's because everything you've been praying for is within reach, waiting for your yes. You may not realize it, but your next level, your next chapter, your next blessing all depend on how you respond when heaven calls in divine urgency. The arrival of two angels is not an ordinary event, it is a divine assignment that marks a spiritual turning point in the life of a chosen one. Angels are messengers sent by God to deliver instructions, protection, or revelation at moments of great importance. When two angels are dispatched, it signifies divine confirmation and power in agreement. One carries the message, and the other bears witness to it. This dual presence represents heavenly authority and assurance that what is being revealed to you is not imagination but divine truth. Their arrival doesn't come with thunder or spectacle, it often comes in moments of stillness, through symbols, dreams, intuition, or unexpected encounters. The chosen ones, those who have been spiritually awakened and refined through trials, are sensitive enough to feel this presence even when nothing visible appears. These angels do not come to entertain, they come with purpose, sent directly from the throne of God to awaken you to what must now be done. The two angels are embodiments of heaven's urgency. They carry light frequencies that disrupt the stagnation around your life. When they arrive, everything begins to move, energy shifts, clarity returns, and your spiritual senses heighten. They don't just appear because you are special, they appear because your time has come. The angels assigned to you carry specific instructions, ones you are meant to act upon within the divine time frame given. They are not bound by earthly constraints, yet they respond to your faith and obedience. If you have been feeling pressure, restlessness, or a sudden pull towards something unfamiliar, that's the vibration of divine communication. Heaven is not waiting for you to have all the answers, it's waiting for your recognition. The angels cannot force revelation upon you, they can only open the door. You must step through it by trusting the feeling that what's happening is divine. One of the angels may bring guidance, whispering insights, reminders, and warnings that align with your higher calling. The other may stand as your protector, ensuring that no opposing energy interferes with your understanding. This is a spiritual escort, a heavenly confirmation that the mission you are about to receive is not to be taken lightly. Often, the chosen ones are sent messages that carry great responsibility. These angels are not here for mere comfort, they are here to prepare you for assignment. When heaven sends two, it's because the message is not ordinary. It means heaven is testifying that this moment carries eternal weight. You may sense an increase in signs around you, numbers repeating, certain words standing out, or people suddenly appearing with messages that echo what your spirit already knows. This is how the angels align your external reality with your internal awareness, guiding you toward recognition. Every chosen one is visited in a way that matches their level of spiritual maturity. For some, the angels come through visions and dreams, for others, through stillness and intuition. Regardless of how they appear, their purpose remains the same: to realign your spirit with divine order. You may not see them with physical eyes, but your soul will know. Their energy is unmistakable, it brings both calm and conviction. One moment you may feel overwhelmed, and the next, a divine peace floods over you. That is their signature, the merging of divine truth with earthly awareness. When this happens, heaven is confirming that the message you are receiving is not born of imagination or coincidence. The angels don't come to confuse, they come to clarify. They are heaven's translators, converting divine mysteries into messages your spirit can understand. In Scripture, whenever angels were sent in pairs, something monumental followed. 2 angels went to rescue Lot before the destruction of Sodom, symbolizing urgent deliverance. 2 stood at Christ's empty tomb, confirming resurrection. Their dual presence always represents divine authority, balance, and manifestation. For the chosen ones, the arrival of 2 angels means that a new spiritual era in your life is being sealed. It's a reminder that what's about to unfold carries heaven's approval. Their presence also protects you from interference, ensuring that your focus remains on the divine mission rather than the chaos of the world. You may notice sudden emotional shifts, waves of gratitude, tears without reason, or a stillness that feels like eternity. That's the energy of divine contact settling over you. The angels are near, and your awareness of them signals your readiness to receive what they've come to deliver. Many people ignore angelic visitations because they expect them to look supernatural or dramatic. But the chosen ones know better. They recognize that heaven often moves subtly, through synchronicities that seem ordinary until seen through spiritual eyes. The 2 angels assigned to you might not reveal themselves in visible form, but their work will be evident through the divine acceleration that follows. Opportunities may begin aligning, toxic attachments may fall away, and clarity about your next steps will suddenly emerge. These are signs that the message has been received and the mission has begun. You don't need to chase these angels, you only need to align with their frequency by quieting your mind, raising your vibration through prayer or meditation, and being open to divine instruction. The message they carry could relate to your purpose, a warning to avoid a certain path, or an awakening to a new phase of your spiritual journey. Regardless of its content, it will always lead you toward greater alignment with divine truth. The chosen ones are being called to higher accountability now. You are not just a receiver of light, you are a carrier of it. The angels remind you that your life has been divinely designed, that even your pain was preparation for this moment. Everything you've endured has trained your spirit to recognize truth when it arrives. And now that it's here, heaven expects you to act with courage, faith, and obedience. The 21-minute call is your moment of response, the 2 angels are your confirmation that the call is real. You are not imagining this. Heaven is moving on your behalf, and the messengers have arrived not just to deliver words but to usher in transformation. This is your sign that God's eyes are upon you, His hand is guiding you, and the time to respond has come.